Hello, and welcome into the ASMR stream that I promised for you guys. You're gonna have to help me out a little bit and make sure that volumes and everything are good. This is the wrong screen. Leave it to me to put it on the wrong screen again. There it is. This is the one we're going with. There we go. Hello, everybody. How are we tonight? Hopefully, this works out well, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. I'm a little nervous. I've joked about doing things like this before, but it's never happened. So that's my chaos right now, is I'm having chaos in my brain. Hello, Lord have mercy, says Cherry. First, we're gonna start with saying hello to everybody. So, hello to Guy and Blaze and Scoops and Kitten of Death and Super Jake and Joshua and Cherry. Hello, how are we? Alerts are still on, so you can jump scare everybody. Would be really, really funny. I thought about turning them off. I thought about turning them down. At the end of the day, I decided that since this is a Goosebumps book, it'd be funnier if we just let it be. So, how is everybody tonight? I hope that you can hear me properly. Are we doing good? Question. I hear and nobody's talking, so I'm a little nervous here. Okay, we can hear me. Okay. Does it sound good? Cherry, I see. Already having the thing. You crocheted a sweater and hat for your 3D printed desk goose. Kitten of Death, that sounds amazing, and I'm going to need photos. You're doing okay. Very nice, Guy. Very nice. It's pretty adorable, and we know that I like geese, after all. So tonight we are going to be reading through this Goosebumps book. It is a choose your own adventure, which means that you guys will have lots of choices to make. There will be plenty of voting. Hopefully we can keep it a little interactive. Hi, Cryo. Am I in general? Oops-a-doo. I did not realize I was still in the general channel. I was chit-chatting before stream, so excuse me while I quick get out of there. Hold on. Let me mute everything coming out of Discord real quick so I don't jump scare everybody with the hang-up noise. There we go. Thank you. Thank you, Cherry. I would not have realized that. You shouldn't have told me. It would have been very funny. I think Blaze would have kicked me eventually. Which would have been honestly funnier because it would have jump scared me. But hello, everybody. Hello. I hope that we're ready for this. I know that I have been practicing this voice in my spare time. I've been doing a lot of hair dyeing in the last 48 hours, so I've had plenty of spare time to talk to myself. And hopefully, imagine if you went in and swallowed the mic saying, "Hi guys, what's good?" Who's blue now, Cryo? Cherry? Cherry's been blue. Oh, you mean my hair. My hair is currently blue. I looked at Blaze the other day and I was like, pick a color. And he's like, what? And I'm like, just pick a color. And he goes, blue. And so my hair is now blue. I thought you meant the blue bow, but alrighty. I will see about getting some sort of just hair only picture into the Discord later. It was a papyrus. Oh, you're so right, Cryo. You're blue now. By the way, as soon as we're done doing No Sleep for Kaname Date, which will be coming soon as we finish Nirvana Initiative, we're actually going to be starting Undertale. I thought about it back and forth, and I decided I want to do Undertale before I do Deltarune. So it will be coming soon-ish. We still have other games to play first. I'm going to try and get a few other things done too before I actually stick myself into another series that's going to be long like that. So no, we're going to be doing Pacifist. We're going to go neutral into Pacifist, but I am going to be getting it on the Switch because I heard that there's a boss fight that I have to do that I know nothing about. Of course you can. You can put anything you want in the Discord. I mean, within reason. Within reason. But there are channels for anything that would be, yeah. I do know that the boss's name is Mad Mew Mew. I know nothing more about it than that. Hello, Nate Dog. Welcome in. Twitch side. So without any further ado, we are going to start this book. I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. If at any point you have things that you want me to say, or I have some chewy candy, or I could take a sip into the microphone, I know some people are into that. I'm sure that could be arranged for, we'll have to see. Depends on what you ask me for. Okay, so here we go. The book tonight is going to be Goosebumps number 40, Zombie School. I kind of just picked the first one that I found that was a choose your own ending. I can indeed say, what the hell? Sure, Jerry. So here is my little thing here. You're totally happy as you settle into your new school, Rainwash Boarding School. Only the best students go here, and you're sure to meet the kids of lots of famous people, actors, athletes, even astronauts. No, Cherry, I don't think I can do that. But Rainwash isn't all it appears to be. Soon you realize that the teachers at the school are brainwashing the kids, and you have to escape before you're next. But how? Maybe you should team up with the girl next to you, who seems just as freaked out as you are. But how can you be so sure she's not another brainwashed zombie? You could try sneaking out as part of a class trip. But what will happen if you get caught? This scary adventure is all about you. You decide what'll happen, and you decide how terrifying the scares will be. Fine, Cherry. What the helly? I don't know what that even... I don't know. Start on page 1. Follow the instructions at the bottom of each page. You make the choices. If you choose well, you'll make it home again. But if you make the wrong choice, beware. So take a deep breath, cross your fingers, and turn to page 1 to give yourself goosebumps. This is like a Internet Archive book. So we do have, whoever's book it was first. Very cool of them to upload it. Accepted, the letter says. You still can't believe it. And you've read the letter 100 times. But now you're on a bus headed toward Rainwash Boarding School. Yes, it's true, you got in. And with a full scholarship. Some of the most famous people in the country went to Rainwash Boarding School. You wonder who you'll be sitting next to in class. The kids of movie stars, sports heroes, maybe even astronauts. You fold the acceptance letter and glance around the bus. Most of the other kids seem as jittery as you are. They may have famous parents, but the first day of school makes everyone nervous. You glance at your watch. You should almost be there by now. You watch the dense forest go by outside. The thick trees block out the sun. Yikes, what was that? It looked like something big moving through the trees. You squint, pressing your face close to the glass. Whoa, there it is again. A huge black dog stares out at you from the trees. Its red eyes lock onto yours. Its long fangs glisten. You glance around the bus. No one else has noticed the creature, and when you peer back into the forest, it's gone. Ugh, that's the freakiest dog I've ever seen, you think? Hello, Kobe. And a koala hugs a cat. Very nice. The bus moves through a gate and up a winding drive. Whoa, Rainwash is big and gray, with towers and spires made of stone. It looks like an old castle. Excellent. You all pile off the bus. New students are each assigned an older Rainwash student as a guide. After a quick visit to your new quarters, you have to get to homeroom, your guide explains. You hand over your heavy suitcase and follow him. Wow, you shout when you get up to your room. What a setup! You have your own computer, a stereo, and a TV? This is the best. Thanks for subscribing, Zach. Welcome in. Homeroom is just down this hall, your guide tells you as he leaves. Don't be late, and don't get caught in the halls during classes. No problem. You're so psyched to be here, you don't want to be late. You head for the door and spot a little piece of paper wedged between two stones in the wall. What's that? You pry it out. Rainwash Boarding School is Brainwash Boarding School, the paper reads. Ha! You snort. That's a good one. You head towards homeroom. The classroom isn't far, and soon you're settled into a desk. You glance at your homeroom teacher. Totally weird looking, you decide. She has a pinched face and long red fingernails. And really strange, she's wearing a monocle in one eye. I am Miss Sims. Welcome to Rainwash Boarding School, she begins. A place where rules are very important. If you disobey the rules, you will get a demerit, she continues. And any student who reaches 25 demerits will wind up in the detention wing. Something about the way Miss Sims says the words sends a chill up your spine. What happens in the detention wing, you wonder? As if she can read your mind, the teacher explains. In the detention wing, we make examples out of bad students. Maybe you'd like to see one of the examples. Miss Sims points at the door. It opens and you all gasp. Standing in the doorway is a student about your age, but he looks totally weird. His skin is bluish green, his eyes are unfocused, as if he's staring at something a million miles away. His arms hang slack at his sides. Whoa, you think, what's wrong with him? He shuffles forward, then he mumbles, it's good to obey the rules. His ragged voice makes your skin crawl. He looks like a zombie, the kid beside you whispers. He sure does, you think. What's going on here? Wait a minute, this must be some kind of a new student joke. This guy's not for real. They didn't fool you. This is what happens to bad students, Miss Sims threatens. Think about that. I'll be back in a minute. She leads the zombie out of the classroom. You chuckle. Time to show everyone what a joke this whole thing is. You stride to the teacher's desk. Well, class, you say, imitating Miss Sims' voice. Does anyone want to break the rules now? A few kids laugh. You put Miss Sims' monocle in one eye. Yikes! What you see through it stops you cold. The classroom looks completely different. The chalkboard that was empty a second ago is now covered with the words, obey without question and work. Don't play. Your eyes fall on an open book in your teacher's desk. Through one eye, it seems like a normal textbook. But through the monocle lens, you see the same words over and over again. Never question authority. You glance at the other students. Some are smiling, waiting for your next joke. But some of them look different through the monocle. Their eyes are glassy. Their skin is greenish blue. Hey, you think. They look like the zombie kid. And they have big red numbers on their clothes. Like on prison uniforms, you realize. What exactly is going on in this place? Then you hear footsteps. Miss Sims is coming back. You have to get back to your seat. Maybe if you keep the monocle, you can use it to find out what's going on. But what if you get caught with it? Maybe you should just put it back. Okay, YouTube chat, Twitch chat. I will be polling both sides here, so you're gonna have to give me a second. Okay, keep the monocle. How do I set up a poll on Twitch side? I always forget how to do this. /poll. There we go. Put it back. Here we go. There you go. What does chat want to do? Shall we keep the monocle and possibly get caught with it? Or shall we put it back? Okay. Looks like both sides are kind of saying the same thing. How do I end the poll Twitch side? Do I just not end it? I don't know how this works. It's amazing. Neko is streaming. Guy. I try. Okay. Oh, there we go. In the poll. Very cool. You guys are in agreement. We are going to keep the monocle. That puts us at page 53. Let me see here. I'll just have to find the way to do this. It's fine. That's 70. We're going to 53. That's 4. Okay, the pages are not numbered right on here. Perfect. The teacher stomps toward the back. Wait, 50 did I turn the right page? Am I silly? Am I stupid? I might be. I don't know. Go back. Was it page 53? Oh, 58. I am silly. Here we go. You decide to keep the monocle. There's more going on here than meets the naked eye. And the monocle might be the only way to find out what it is. You slip it into your pocket and sprint to your desk. Miss Sims enters just as you reach your seat. She explains that all classes will head to the assembly hall soon, but first she'll call the roll. She peers for a moment at her desk, puzzled as if looking for something. Did anyone see my monocle? She asks. You sure hope no one tells on you. But as you watch in horror, a dozen students raise their hand, and you realize they're the ones who looked like zombies through the monocle. Looks like you're in trouble. 42. Billy, Miss Sims points at a zombie student. Who took my... Ring, the bell sounds. Oh dear, the teacher mutters. I didn't even have time to call the roll. And now you must all go to the assembly hall. Saved by the bell. The students head for the door, and you jump into the middle of the crowd. Roll was never even called, you reason, so no one even knows your name. you're safe for now. You head for the assembly hall. Crowds of students surge out of every classroom. As you walk, you check out the rest of the school. It seems normal enough, you think. Murals along the halls, drinking fountains, rows of lockers. Maybe the stress of being in a new school is getting to you, you reason. Maybe you just imagined what you saw through the monocle. You slip it out of your pocket and sneak it onto your eye for a quick glance around. Thunder Dragon Legends, welcome in. Page 107 is where we're headed. You're right. The stress of being in a new school is getting to you. Because this school is whacked out. Your breath catches in your chest as you gaze through the monocle. Through its lens, you can see that the murals on either side of the hallway have hidden messages in them. Never think for yourself. Work is better than play. Never be in the hall without a pass. You glance quickly through the monocle at the students crowding the hall. Just like in the classroom, a lot of them have bluish-green skin and glassy eyes, and numbers on their clothes that are invisible without the monocle. Playing isn't really that much fun, you hear one numbered student proclaim. That's right, another agrees. Work is much better. Whoa, you think. They talk just like the slogans on the walls. What's that about? You feel a hand on your shoulder. Oh, what is that you've got there? A voice asks. Put a banana in your ear. Thanks, Scoobs. You turn around. The voice belongs to a student. You catch a glimpse of him through the monocle before you can cram it back in your pocket. His skin is normal colored, not blue. Whew, that makes you feel better. The zombie students creep you out. Nothing, you stammer. Just this thing I found on the floor. He shrugs and turns away. You peer around the assembly hall to see a big sign that says class selection. There are sign-up tables all along the wall. Someone hands you a class selection form. Well, you guess you'd better use it. Pick your classes. Write down 4 of them in any order from the list below. Be sure to include the room numbers. Ooh, so we have to pick some classes. What are we thinking, guys? What would we like to do for our classes? We have art. We have computing. We have English. We have gym. We have history. And we have science. The first 4 classes that I see answered by 2 people will get picked. Art. Okay. I see gym over on the other side. I see computing. I see art again. Okay, so we're definitely having art. We see another gym. Okay. Let's see here. Art is room 103. Gym is room 77. I see another answer for computing, so we'll do that as well. That is room 122. And if we don't get another answer, I'll just pick another one. When things go bananas, just remember to stay calm and peel collected. Very funny. That's all you want is the gym and computing? Okay. We also got art. Okay, I guess I'm going to pick the last one, and so I'm going to pick science, which is room 64. Okay. Fantastic. When you finish class selection, the bell rings, and we go to page 135. And click, 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 click. There we go. You look up from your brand new class schedule. Time to go to class, several teachers instruct the students. Fine, you think. Maybe there you can find out more about what's going on. Turn to the page that corresponds to the room number of your first class. For example, art is room 103. Okay, so that's where we're going. You're glad it's time for art class. It's the nicest sounding class on your schedule. Room 103 has a long table. Lying on it is a huge stretched canvas with shapes already penciled in, sort of like a color by number set. The teacher, a woman with a paint-smeared smock and glasses, passes around paints. She orders you all to fill in the canvas. This isn't a very creative art class, you think. You take another look at the shapes drawn on canvas. Once this painting is done, it'll look just like the one of those murals in the hall, the kind with the secret messages. You slyly put your monocle in front of your eye and peer at the canvas. There aren't any hidden messages on the mural yet. Maybe once the paint is applied. You turn and see an open can of paint sitting unused on a low shelf. Whoa! It's a bright red, so bright that staring at it makes you dizzy. You remove the monocle and stare into the can again. Without the monocle, the paint looks perfectly clear. You feel yourself smile. This gives you a great idea. Page 23 it says. You wait until the teacher isn't looking. Then you reach over and dip a brush into the red paint can. You try a few dabs on the mural. They're invisible until you peer at them through the monocle. Yes, it looks like your idea could work. What if you painted your own slogan onto the mural? You could write whatever you want, and no one would see it. But just like the other hidden messages, maybe it would change the way people around here think. You could write, "Let us go home," or "Play is fun." After all, you've got to do something. You can't just wait around until you wind up brainwashed. Of course, if the teacher saw your message with a monocle, they'd know someone was up to something. And if you get caught, you'll probably be in a whole lot of trouble. You remember homeroom, the example student who'd been to the detention wing. You don't want to wind up like that. Should you risk it? Okay, here we go. Here's another vote. Paint. Or don't paint. There we go. I'm going to put it down to a 1-minute timer on Twitch because they end automatically, which is honestly kind of nice. We should paint or don't paint. What do you guys think? You can't believe you're actually back watching a Neko stream. Do you not watch them anymore, Jerry? Have I become uninteresting to you? I get it. Yeah, kind of guy. We should chat about that sometime, Cherry. Okay. Well, that looks like everybody's unanimous that we should paint. Page 31. You decide to risk it and paint your own slogan. Maybe you can beat Brainwash Boarding School at its own game. You watch the teacher carefully. Once her back is turned, you jump into action. You dip your brush into the invisible paint. Then you reach out and paint the first thing that comes into your head. Let us go home, in huge letters. And maybe you should write a message for your fellow students. Something to help them break out of zombie mode. Think for yourself, you scrawl. You put the monocle away and stare at your work. Cool, it works. Just gazing at the painting makes you feel more in control, more alert. But that feeling disappears when you hear the art teacher's voice. Nice work, she comments. You gulp and turn around. Then as you see her face, you suddenly remember. She's wearing glasses. Can she see what you've done through them? I was just... You stammer. I know what you were up to, the art teacher snaps. It's true, you realize with horror. Her glasses are just like the monocle. She pulls out a big felt marker and holds your chin firmly with one hand. She writes something on your forehead with quick strokes of the pen. Then she releases you. See how you like Rainwash School now, she cackles. The bell rings. Whew, you hurtle out into the hall. No big deal. You'll just slip into a bathroom and wash off whatever's written on your face. Then you feel a sudden shove to one side. Ow, you shout. But the boy who shoved you keeps walking. What's his problem, you wonder? Then you feel a bonk from behind as somebody kicks you. What's going on here? You push your way through the crowd. Finally, you make it to a bathroom and peer at your forehead in the mirror. There's nothing written there. Then you remember to look through your monocle. You swallow as you struggle to read the words in reverse. Hit me, kick me, shove me. You try to wipe the words from your forehead. Oh no, the invisible marker won't wipe off. As you step into the hall, stunned, immediately you're shoved against a wall. A group of students gather to torment you. Stop, you shout. Think for yourselves. But they can't. They've been brainwashed by Rainwash. As you're crushed against a locker, you wonder how long this marker takes to wear off. Probably too long. Looks like you didn't beat Rainwash at its own game after all. Because you're the one who's being beaten, which makes this the end. Oh dear, we got an ending. In what, half an hour? That's okay. I think we can go back. Maybe we'll go back to art class and make the other choice. What do we think? Would you guys like that? Or we could go to our next class. Do you guys just want to go to the next one? Oh, of course we could die, Scoops. This is a goosebump book. Haven't you ever read one before? And if you haven't, I'm honestly sorry for you. Case closed. Bring in dancing lobsters. Ooh, dancing lobsters would be fun. Have I read this? I haven't read one of these in a very long time, Cherry, and I don't think I've read this one in particular. We'll just go to our next class, which is gym. Here we go. Page 77, actually. We're real close. It's not hard to find room 77, a huge gym at one end of the school. Suit up, a man with a whistle shouts. Must be the coach. You find your way to the locker room and change your clothes. Too bad you're the last one out on the gym floor. The angry-looking coach glares at you. His muscles ripple under his clothes. Get in line, he growls. You move to the end of a long line of kids. You all follow the coach to an Olympic-sized pool. Then the coach pulls out a pair of glasses and scans the class. The way he's staring through them reminds you of Miss Sims and her monocle. Wait a minute, do his glasses work like the monocle, you wonder? Does every teacher here have one of those freaky lenses? The coach walks along the line of nervous students. Y'all must be pretty smart to be in this school, he grumbles. But being smart isn't everything. You've got to be fit too, he continues. Or you don't belong here. That's why today we're climbing the eliminator. He points up. Oh, you can see why it's called the eliminator. The eliminator is a rope far above you, stretched from one end of the gym to the other. It must be 40 feet off the ground. Of course, we wouldn't want you to get hurt, the coach explains. That's why the eliminator hangs over the pool. Most students who fall will land in the water. Most? You swallow nervously. What is this guy trying to do? Kill you? Alphabetical order, the coach shouts. Abigail Abby approached the eliminator. A short girl steps forward timidly. The coach points to a rope ladder at one end of the eliminator. Abigail climbs it and peers across the gym to the other end. She grabs the eliminator with one hand, then the other, and it soon is dangling over your head. Abigail continues hand over hand, reaching the middle of the rope in no time. Yes, you think. Keep going, Abigail. But then she slows down. Her hands shake as she reaches forward. Abigail struggles to hold on, but one hand slips from the rope. Oh no, you think. She's going to fall. Your breath catches in your throat as Abigail tumbles through the air. Splash! She disappears underwater for a few horrible moments. Where is she, you wonder? Is she okay? Finally, Abigail surfaces, sputtering and coughing. Whew, you think. But your relief doesn't last long. Wash out, the coach screams, blowing his whistle. The water in the pool starts to bubble, and a giant whirlpool forms in the center. What's happening? Abigail shrieks as she's pushed one way and then another by the waves. Then her body is pulled toward the giant whirlpool. Oh no, she's being sucked in. You gulp as she's washed down into a drain at the bottom of the pool. She's gone. The kid next to you starts to shake. This place is seriously scary, he mutters. No kidding, you whisper back. Next, the coach shouts. Whoa, are you next? Alphabetical order, remember. Are we going with Neko? Is that what we're doing here? Because it says if your name starts with A to M, go here, and N to Z. I suppose we'll just go with Neko. So page 33. Sweat rolls down your back as one student after another tries the eliminator. It'll be a while till they get to you, you realize. Ah! You wince as another student is sucked from the pool and down into the dark tunnel. You have to clench your teeth to keep from screaming with fear. Please let this class be over soon. Please just let the bell ring, you think. You're next, the coach shouts. Oh no, he's pointing at you. You approach the rope ladder, slowly. Your stomach twists with fear. Will you be able to survive the eliminator? Your fingers touch the ladder, and the bell rings. Whew. We'll be starting with you next time, the coach grumbles, looking down at you with his burning eyes. Oh, great, you think. Can't wait. Okay, we're going to our next class. That would be computing on page 122. Oh, perfect. Time for computer class. Room 122 is full of brand new computers, one on each desk. You sit down and your computer flicks on automatically. Whoa, this is sweet, the girl next to you proclaims. The teacher clears her throat. Today, we're going to find out how much you know about computers, she announces. You can use your computer to do anything you want. Surf the internet, send email, look up information about the school. Whatever. So, start working. No problem, you think. You've always had a knack for computers. But the girl next to you jumps into her work. But as you try out the programs, your head starts to feel funny. You glance around the room. All the other students seem strangely sleepy. Even the girl next to you has slowed down. Her face looks slack and tired. Pretty good machines, huh? You say to her. Must work, she murmurs. Work is important. Maybe you should take a quick look through your monocle and see what's up. You put the little lens to your eye. What you see makes your heart beat faster. Hidden messages flash on your computer screen. Obey without thinking. Don't question authority. Work all the time. There are hundreds of the messages going by, and it feels as if they're zooming straight into your brain. Oh no, you think. This computer's been programming you. There must be some way you can turn off the messages. You fiddle with a button on your monitor, and the messages seem to fade away. Whew, you decide it's safe to put away the monocle. Now what? Maybe you should have a look at the school's database. It might help you find out what's going on here. Or you could send an email to your parents. You could tell them to come and get you out of this freaky place. What should you do? Okay, here's another poll. Either check the database or send an email. Here we go. Favorite Goosebumps monster. Oh boy, it's been so long since I've read one of these. Honestly. Make sure you take the time to vote. We are currently 50-50 because of the vote on Twitch side. So if we could get at least one more vote, please. Okay. If we're not gonna vote, I guess Neko gets to pick. Hmm. Poll doesn't work on phone. Oh no. Colby, if you'd like to, you're welcome to vote by message. I'll take your vote as whatever we're gonna do at this point because we are 50-50, like I said. If you'd like to. I mean, you don't have to, of course. I've got people shouting for me to do. No, the options are either check out the school's database or send an email. Database it is. You click on the school's database. Information about the school's founder, Dr. Rainwash, pops onto the screen. It seems he invented a way of using hidden messages to make people think a certain way. Cool, you think. Just like the hidden messages all around the school and in the computer. This is fun. Almost as much fun as obeying. Wait, what was that thought? And why did you think it? Could the computer's hidden messages be working on you? But you thought you turned them off. Oh well, it doesn't matter. You wish you had some work to do, because work is good. You raise your hand, and the teacher comes over. Could you give me some work, please? You ask. Work is good. Funny, that's not how you usually talk. But the teacher seems to understand. Why don't you write your parents a letter telling them how you want to stay here at Rainwash for the next vacation? To do lots and lots of work, she suggests. You try to shake your head no, but you can't. Uh-oh. You nod. I'll stay here during the next vacation, you decide. And maybe even the one after that, to do lots and lots of work. Now start on that letter, the teacher orders. You click on the word processing program. As you write your letter, you hear a funny sound, as if there's a voice screaming in your head. It's saying that you don't want to work all the time, that you like going on vacations. But that doesn't make sense. Working is the best thing ever. Besides, the teacher told you to write this letter, and obeying is good. Wow, with that attitude, we have a feeling you'll be obeying the teachers here at Rainwash Boarding School for a long time. And while you're following orders, obey this. Close this book because you've reached the end. Ah. Sadly, that seems to be another bad ending. We suck at this, apparently. That's okay. I think we should be able to just go back and write that email in the first place. Let's see, computing started on page 122. I'm just going to follow through for a minute here. Whoop. Like the 2-page view. That took us to page 36. And we'll go write that email. Since it was so close, I think that we should have the opportunity. You click on the email program. The chattering sound of a modem connection comes from the computer. A window to write your email in pops open. You type in your parents' address and start a letter. I think something funny is going on here at Rainwash. All the students seem like zombies or something. I found this monocle that shows hidden messages everywhere. It's almost as if they want to program the students. Ding! A message pops up on your computer. Report to the detention wing. Immediately. Yikes! What you were writing was being monitored. You're caught. The teacher stands. She puts a firm hand on your shoulder and leads you to the door. 2 men in uniform wait to escort you to the detention wing. Wait, what? Oh, I'm so sorry, Kitten of Death. Detention wing, reads the sign on the wall. No, your mind screams. You remember the empty-eyed zombie student from the detention wing you saw in homeroom. Are you going to wind up like him? You glance around. The room is full of nervous students. Sign in and sit down, orders a uniformed guard. You'll be tested in the order you arrived. Tested, you think? How? And on what? You write your name in a big, musty book by the door. Whoa, you stare at the book. There must be thousands of names in here. You sit in an empty chair. One by one, the students are called to be tested. They disappear behind a big metal door at one end of the room. When the first student comes back out, he looks normal. Not like a zombie at all. Whew, you think. Maybe this place isn't so bad after all. But then the second student returns. Her face is now a ghastly bluish green. Her eyes are completely empty. Oh, maybe she failed the test. The third student doesn't come out at all. Then the guard yells your name. Yikes, it's your turn. Hello, Aaron, welcome in. Overshot that a little bit. You try to stand up, but your legs are trembling. Too hard. The guard barks your name again. He glares angrily around the room. You shrink down into your seat. Maybe, if you just sit here, he'll call the next name. Then you could try to sneak out somehow. You know you don't want to take the detention wing test. But what if you can't get away? If you get caught, you'll be in more trouble than ever. What should you do? Our choices here are to take the test or to keep quiet and try to escape. This time I'm going to run the poll only on YouTube side. Twitch, if you'd like to just give us your answer. We can take the test or we can keep quiet and try to escape. Here we go. Mm-hmm. Fantastic. We will be taking the test. There's no way to escape, you decide, glancing around the well-guarded room. Here, you cry. The guard points toward the metal door. You walk through the door. A white-haired woman sits behind a huge desk. She peers at you over her glasses. You shudder. Something in her eyes is positively evil. I am Miss Pierce. You are here because you can't follow the rules, she begins. But even students with behavior problems are sometimes useful. If they are smart. Useful, you wonder what that means. I'm going to give you a test, Miss Pierce announces. It will consist of one logic problem. Ooh, you sit down. There's a mill with 7 corners, she begins. In each corner stand 3 bags. On each bag sit 7 cats. Then the miller and his wife come into the mill. How many feet are now in the mill? You stall. What kind of a question is that? You'll never figure it out. Answer the question, Miss Pierce barks. Now. If your answer is more than 20 or less than 20. All right, here we go. So the answers here are more than 20 or less than 20, Twitch chat. "20 of what? There is a mill with 7 corners. In each corner stand 3 bags. On each bag sit 7 cats. The miller and his wife come into the mill. How many feet are now in the mill?" Regardless of what you put, I believe that the answers chosen over on YouTube, they are definitely saying less than 20. Your brain ain't braining? That's okay. You remind yourself that Miss Pierce said this was a logic test, not a math test. Forget all that multiplication. There are only 4 feet in the mill, you answer. Cats don't have feet, they have paws. You're right, Miss Pierce grumbles. She seems disappointed. Whew, you passed. Now you won't get turned into a zombie. You're smarter than you look, she admits. Smart enough to be useful. Take this book and go in there. Miss Pierce points at a door. Uh-oh, you think. That's not the door you came in. You glance at the book she gave you. Ancient Greek History. The cover reads. You shrug and go through the door into a room. It's full of students reading intently. That's funny. They all seem to be wearing weird hats. You sit, open the book, and pretend to read. Out of the corner of your eye, you peek at the student next to you. Wait a minute, you think. She's not wearing a hat. Ah, it's some kind of tentacle on her head. Ooh. You scan the room wildly. It can't be, but it is. Tentacles, like an octopus's, clutch each of the students by the head. The tentacles all lead to the back of the room, where they're attached to a giant, horrible creature. It's covered with scales and has a huge head. You've got to get out of here. You spring to your feet. But it's too late. A tentacle wraps around your head and forces you back into the chair. Read to me. What? There's some kind of voice in your brain. Read to me about ancient Greek history. Let me out of here, you yell. No, the voice shouts. You have to read to me, or I'll suck your brain dry. A dizzying sensation comes over you. The creature wasn't kidding. It's starting to empty your brain. You open the book and read. The brain-sucking sensation goes away. But as you read the words in the book, you feel them flowing out of your brain. They're flowing straight into the tentacle on your head. You've got to get out of here. You sit and read, trying to figure out what to do. Maybe you could read really fast. So fast the brain sucker can't keep up. Yeah, like maybe you could clog it up or something. But what if that just makes it smarter? On the other hand, you could try to yank the tentacle off your head and run for it. Oh, Cherry, starting to believe the school isn't too bad. Okay. Our choices here are to try to clog up the brain sucker or to try to run for it. Here we go. You want to run? Okay. Okay, that appears to be the end of the poll there. And looks like we're going to try to clog it up. With puts us on page 90. You decide to read as fast as you can. You zip through the book, speed reading until your eyes start to bug out of your head. The voice purrs. Ancient Greek history. No, you think in dismay. It's not working. But what if everyone in the room does the same thing? Read as fast as you can, you shout to the other kids. The girl next to you looks puzzled for a moment, but then she starts to read furiously. Her eyes scan the words faster and faster. You plunge back into your book. Slow down, the voice complains. Too many words at once. Yes, it's working. You start to hear the voices of other students in your head as they read faster. What do you mean muted, Cherry? I was never muted. I can go back. But what if everyone in the room does the same thing? Read as fast as you can, you shout to the other kids. The girl next to you looks puzzled for a moment, but then starts to read furiously. Her eyes scan the words faster and faster. You plunge back into your book. Slow down, the voice complains. Too many words at once. Yes, it's working. You start to hear the voices of other students in your head as they read faster. Algebra, and chemistry, and social studies all echo through your brain. Their thoughts are leaking over to you. The brain sucker must be losing control. Everyone read like crazy, you yell. No, the brain sucker protests. Pop. You feel the tentacle fall from your head. You're free. The brain sucker couldn't take all that information at once. You glance over at the huge brain sucker. You realize it's not so huge anymore. It's shrinking. Oh, it cries. Now it looks more like a medium-sized octopus. It yells. Whoops, make that a teeny tiny octopus? Ip, it squeaks. It's gone. Which brings this rain-wash adventure to a really tiny but satisfying end. We did it, guys. We got a good ending. Yay, we got a good one. Definitely one ending better than the rest, and it's whatever gets us to page 95. You wanted it to eat your brain? You know, that's really fair feeling, Nate Dog. Honestly, the war is real. I say we go to the last class we had picked out. You head over to science class. You take a seat and stare down at the lab table. Whoa. In front of you are some nasty looking instruments. They include a scalpel, scissors, and a long, sharp tool that looks like it belongs in a dentist's office. What do you need these for? The teacher calls the class to order. She holds up a tiny electronic device between two fingers. Today, we're not going to learn about bugs, she announces. Or we are going to learn about bugs, she announces. Not the creepy crawly kind, but the electronic kind that emit a homing signal. She picks up another device, about the size of a TV remote control. She flicks it on and begins to beep. The beeping sound gets louder and faster as she moves the remote control closer to the bug. You'd be impressed if you weren't sure there wasn't something strange going on here. Of course, these bugs are also good for keeping track of people, the teacher adds. Then she puts something else on her desk. You gasp. You can't believe your eyes. It's a human arm. Hello, Habari. Welcome in. Let's see. Your stomach churns as you stare at the arm. Then you realize it's not real. It's just a plastic model. Oof. Some bugs are so small you can put them anywhere, the teacher explains happily. Even under your skin. Why would you want to do that, you wonder? A strange coldness starts to trickle into your stomach. What sort of science class is this? Here at Rainwash Boarding School, we like to keep track of our students, she says. So today, we will show you how to put a bug into a human arm. The teacher smiles. But why use this plastic model? We have so many healthy young specimens right here in class. She peers around the room. Any volunteers? Volunteers, you think? Is she kidding? No one makes a sound. Well then, the teacher frowns. I'll just have to pick someone. She pauses. How about you? You open your eyes. Oh no, she's pointing at you. But you stammer. Yes, you'll do nicely, the teacher interrupts. Come up here right now. You look around frantically. Is there a way for you to get out of here? The only door is right next to the teacher's desk. You're trapped. You shuffle nervously to the front of the class. The teacher takes your arm and stretches it out on the table. First, a little rubbing alcohol and anesthetic. She dampens a cotton ball with something from a brown glass bottle. Whatever was in that bottle feels cold. A numbness creeps into your skin. Your eyes widen as she picks up the scalpel. Yikes, you've got to do something now, or you'll be stuck with a bug in your arm. Then these freaky teachers will always know where you are. And that can't be good. Should you make a break for the door? It's only a few steps away. Or maybe you could accidentally break the bug and ruin the experiment. So our options here are make a run for it, or squash that bug. Here we go. Cherry, if that's how you feel about the Choose Your Own Adventure book, maybe I will choose that one if we do this again. You're liking the story? Very cool, Super Jake. I'm glad. Okay, we're going to end this poll here. We're going to squash that bug. Page 44. I'll smash that bug, you decide. Anything to spoil this experiment. You casually reach out for the device. The teacher pauses. Be very careful with that, she warns. It has a very nasty anti-tampering system. Her words choke off as you squeeze the little bug with all your strength. Oops, you cry. But your mind shouts, yes! The little device crumbles in your fingers. Weird. The teacher doesn't seem upset at all. She takes a step back from you. It looks as if we're going to have a different sort of demonstration, she announces. As I was saying, these bugs don't like it when you try to tamper with them. Observe. She points the scalpel at your hand. The skin between your fingers feels really tingly. You try to drop the remains of the bug, but you can't. Hey, you can't move your hand at all. What is happening, you shout. Rip. Black tendrils that look like worms sprout out from between your fingers. They crawl up your arm and squeeze. Ow! You howl in pain. Isn't today's technology wonderful, class? The teacher explains. The bug senses that it was damaged, so it'll make sure that its host cannot escape. Let's watch what happens. The worm-like tendrils reach your shoulder and start to wrap themselves around your neck. You claw at them with your other hand, but their grip tightens with crushing force. You can't breathe. Your vision starts to dim, but you can still hear the teacher's calm voice. You might say, she jokes, that these bugs bite back. You try to speak, but all that comes out is a strangled croak. Wow, science class always bugged you, but this is ridiculous. The end. Well, I do think that was the last class we had chosen. We can try to go back to class selection if we'd like. Or I suppose we could attempt to find another book even. What would you guys like to do? A shrug. I was honestly expecting this to be a bit longer. Let me see. Was it page 122 we chose them on? No. I know it was one something. No, maybe I'm wrong. One more class? We can do one more. We'll find the classes eventually. Wait, I saw if you've forgotten the room's number, check page 60. Maybe that's where it'll be. There it is. Okay. We can do history, or we can do English, or honestly, we've got plenty of time. We could probably do both. See if we can't get a good answer here. So, room 13 and room 111. We'll just do both of them. Okay. You're off to English class. The teacher tells you to find partners. You look carefully at the girl sitting next to you. What if she's one of the zombies? You wish you could take a look through the monocle, but if the teacher saw it, you'd be in trouble. Want to be my partner? You offered. Okay, she answers, peering back at you suspiciously. Maybe she's also noticed that things here at Rainwash are a little weird, you think. I'm Kate, she mutters. Is this your first year? You nod. She looks relieved. Mine too, she tells you. The teacher hands out the assignment sheets. You and Kate have to write an essay or story together. The suggested themes are how you could be injured while playing, and what bad things happened the last time you disobeyed. Great topics, Kate mutters with a smirk. Maybe, Kate tells you. Kate leans closer. How about this for a story? Some new students arrive at a boarding school. It's a really creepy place. All the kids there seem to be brainwashed. You swallow and lean even closer. Whoa, Kate is on the same wavelength as you. At least someone else seems to have noticed that Rainwash boarding school is totally creepy. Maybe you should show her the monocle and show her what it reveals. Then you two could try to find a way out together. But can you trust her? What if she's really one of the zombie-like students, just trying to trick you? Maybe you should play it cool and pretend you don't know what she means. Did I cut off? Did I cut off at one point? Can you guys hear me? All good? Okay. There's usually a true ending. Yeah, usually. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we're going to start a poll here. Show Kate the monocle or play it cool. There we go. Those are our options. Do we trust Kate or not? Ask her out. Should I take that as showing her the monocle? I mean... Okay. Which means that I need at least one more vote, please. Okay, very cool. We will show Kate the monocle on page 72. You decide to trust Kate and show her the monocle. After all, you can't take on the whole school by yourself. I think your story idea is great, you exclaim. Maybe we could work something like this into it. You thrust the monocle into her hand. Just don't let anyone else see it, you whisper. She seems confused for a moment, then holds the monocle up to her eye. First, shock spreads across her face. Then she nods her head, a fierce look in her eyes. She's silent for a moment. You shift in your chair nervously, hoping you've made the right choice. Then Kate raises her hand. Excuse me, she calls to the teacher. Your heart starts to hammer. Is Kate turning you in? You try to shrink into your chair. Your hands grip the edge of your desk until the knuckles turn white. Yes, the teacher answers. It's kind of loud in here, Kate explains to the teacher. May my partner and I work just outside the door? You let out your breath with a sigh. She's not turning you in after all. The teacher nods his head. But don't go anywhere without a hall pass, he warns. Out in the hall, Kate whispers, I've read about hidden messages like the ones you can see through the monocle. We've got to get out of here, or they'll wind up brainwashing us. The note you found in your room flashes into your mind. Rainwash boarding school is brainwash boarding school. I'm with you, you agree. I don't want to wind up being a zombie. We'd better make a break for it, Kate whispers. She peers up and down the hall. Which way should we go? You glance left and right. You realize you can either go toward the assembly hall or toward the front office. Which will it be? So our options here are the assembly hall or the front office. We are currently at 50-50 with our Twitch vote. Can we please get at least one more? Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Okay, I suppose we're not getting one more. Chat, pick one or two. First person to give me an answer gets to choose where we're going. Oh, never mind, we got another vote. And that tells us we're going to the assembly hall. Okay, page 10. You head toward the assembly hall. Kate follows close behind you. You sneak past the closed classroom doors in silence. You can't speak, not if you want to make it out of there. Kate gasps softly behind you. She's staring through the monocle at the messages hidden in the wall murals. She must be as amazed as what you were when you first saw them. Then you hear a growl. It's coming from somewhere in front of you. No! You flatten yourself against a row of lockers. Kate crouches next to you. Your heart pounds. Something just around the corner casts an ominous shadow into the hall. A sound like a huge animal's panting fills your ears. You remember the red eyes of the beast you spotted from the bus. Could this creature be like that? You try to turn and run, but your feet feel like they weigh 1,000 pounds each. You only manage to utter one strangled word to Kate. Dog, you croak. The panting draws closer. Whoa, Kate grabs your arm. She yanks you backwards through a door. It's dark. You can't see a thing. Where? You start. Shh, she hisses. We're in a janitor's closet. The sound of the huge dog's feet padding down the hall silences you both. You hear it snuffling outside. You imagine the beast's hot breath snaking under the door and surrounding your feet. Your toes curl up with fear inside your sneakers. After a few moments, the dog moves on, padding away until you can't hear it anymore. Whew, you're safe. For now. Try to find the light, Kate whispers. You hear her fumbling in the dark for a switch. You reach out your hands. Your fingers close on something that feels like a light switch. You flick it. But when the lights come on, you almost wish you'd stayed in the dark. You can't believe it. Before you is a row of strange chairs. They look like electric chairs, the kind used to kill people. Each one has straps on the arms and legs, and an ugly black helmet attached to it. And each helmet has a red label that says danger. Subject must not wear any metal. What are these chairs? Why are they here at Rainwash? You're not sure you want to know the answers. Silently, Kate points toward the back of the closet. You don't see anything until Kate hands you the monocle. You peer through it. Whoa, you think. A hidden door. The words Entrance 17 are written above it. Entrance to what, you wonder out loud. Let's find out, Kate suggests. The thought of opening the door sends shivers down your spine. It says entrance, not exit. What if you don't like what you find on the other side? Your only other choice is to leave the closet and head toward the office. But what if you run into that dog again? Okay, here's another poll. Reminder to which side can vote by text. We can try the entrance. Oh, I should be typing, please. Or go back to the hall. Here we go. Okay. We're again back to a 50-50. Can we get another vote, please? You love how there's always a disagreement? Very cool. Thank you, Habari. We'll try the entrance. You decide to go through entrance 17. Okay, you murmur. After you. Kate slowly pushes open the door. Red light spills from the entrance. You follow her inside onto a narrow staircase. Your footsteps echo against the metal stairs as you move farther and farther down. Finally, you reach an open doorway. The sound of voices comes from the other side. You and Kate creep up to the door and peer through. A very old man sits at a large metal table. Sitting with him are some of the Rainwash teachers. The old man talks softly. You strain to hear his words. In the old days, programming students took years, he mumbles. Recently, we've gotten the same results in a week. Imagine, in just 1 week, all these children will be our slaves. Forever. You and Kate stare at each other. You feel as if you can practically read her thoughts. This can't be happening, but it is. The teachers at Brainwash Boarding School are trying to brainwash you and make you their slaves. Now we've invented a way to brainwash a student in just a few minutes, the old man continues. Behold, the Rainwash Brainwash chair. He points at a chair in the corner. It's just like the ones you saw upstairs, except that it's plugged in. A row of red lights blinks on top of the helmet. Wonderful, Dr. Rainwash, one of the teachers exclaims. Now students can graduate on their first day of school. Dr. Rainwash, you think. Whoa, this is the guy who runs the whole school. Even he wants to brainwash you. Now all we need is a test subject for the device, Dr. Rainwash cackles. Or 2. I think we have 2 volunteers here, a deep voice announces from behind you. You and Kate whirl around in shock and find yourself facing two burly men in uniforms. The big guards drag you and Kate into the room with Dr. Rainwash and the teachers. "Stop! Why are you doing this to us?" Kate screams. "Only the best students come to Rainwash boarding school," Dr. Rainwash says. "Students who will be powerful leaders as adults. Soon, all the most important people in the world will obey me." You gulp as you remember some of the famous people who went to Rainwash. Scientists, politicians, athletes, movie stars, judges. All of them must be obeying Dr. Rainwash, doing whatever he says. If he keeps it up, Dr. Rainwash really will control the world. He has to be stopped. But what can you do? Concentrate, you order yourself. There must be a way out of this. But what is it? Though you're not sure why, your mind flashes back to the brainwash chairs you saw upstairs. You remember the warning label. Subject must not wear any metal. Are you wearing anything made of metal? Well, I'm going to go based on what I'm currently wearing. If you're wearing any metal, turn to page 98. And I am. We can go back and do the other one, though. You are wearing something made of metal. Yes, you think. Maybe if they put you in the brainwash chair, you'll break it. Then Rainwash will think it doesn't work, and you'll still have a fighting chance. But then you remember the rest of the warning about metal. Danger, it said. That probably means danger to you. The chair could barbecue your brain or something. Which one of you brilliant students wants to be the first to try my new chair? Dr. Rainwash asks. You and Kate exchange panicked looks. Neither of you says a word. Having trouble deciding, Dr. Rainwash says in a kindly voice. Let me help you. I'll flip a coin. Call it, and you win, he cackles. Or lose, as the case may be. You feel your heart pounding as the coin spins in the air. Dr. Rainwash catches it, closes his hand, and points at you. Call it, he orders you. Okay, let's put up another poll here. Heads or tails? How are we all enjoying this, by the way? Has this been at least interesting for you guys? I hope. This was kind of the first idea I had for an ASMR stream. But there's definitely other ideas that I could run with. You know, we could do this again sometime. There's a few games that would probably work well for this sort of thing. You like this? Okay. Did anybody in Twitch side want to vote for heads or tails, or should I just take the 3 votes I've got and run with it? All good? Okay. Heads then. Heads, you stammer. Dr. Rainwash opens his hand, looks at the coin, and smiles. Heads, that means you go first. No, you scream, but you're dragged to the chair, the straps bound tightly around your wrists and ankles. The helmet is lowered onto your head. Now, Dr. Rainwash yells. The chair starts to hum. You feel electricity crawling across your skin. It feels as if a nest of spiders is walking on you. Ah! You yell. Then the spiders turn to jolts in your hands, in your legs, in your nose. The sizzle of electricity starts to gather around the metal you're wearing. It heats the metal, which starts to burn you. Ow, you're being fried. Kaboom, you're thrown backward in the seat. It feels as though you've been struck by lightning. Finally, the chair winds down into silence. Did it work? Have you been brainwashed? You feel hands working to release the straps. The helmet is lifted from your head. I hate this school, you think quickly. Oh, well, it looks like you're not brainwashed. You gasp when you see who's freed you. It's Kate. She's not being held captive anymore. You glance at Rainwash and the teachers who are sitting around the metal table. Everyone is totally still. The hair is standing on end. The chair started freaking out, Kate explains. Then it shot a big lightning bolt at the table. Everyone touching the table got zapped. Are they dead, you ask? Not dead, one of them murmurs. Ready to obey. Obeying is good, the others agree. Give us your orders, Dr. Rainwash pleads. Must obey. Cool, Kate exclaims. Yes, this turns out to be very cool. You're not sure how it happened, but now Rainwash and all the teachers have to obey you. The first order you give is that everyone relax and have fun. Best of all, you don't have to do any homework. But why should you? You're totally running Rainwash boarding school now, and that's enough work for anyone. The end. Yay, we got another good ending. In fact, that's a rather nice ending, actually. It reminds you of Nickelodeon's Are You Afraid of the Dark? I can't say that I've ever had the pleasure or possibly displeasure of watching that. Sounds like something I'd be afraid of. What are we thinking, guys? Do we want to do one more class? Or are we all good here? Did we enjoy this? It was very interesting and well written. Okay. We do still have one more class we could go to, or we could honestly end the stream. Might as well. Up to me. I could go either way. I know my streams have been on the short side lately. I've just been real tired these last couple weeks. We can. There's one left, might as well do it. Yeah, might as well. Alrighty, that brings us to page 111. Perfect. Time to go to history class. Too bad this whole school isn't history, you think. Room 111 seems normal enough. Posters of presidents and war heroes cover the walls. The teacher is an ancient little man with no hair at all. He glares at the class through a pair of thick glasses. Today, we are going to watch a very important video, he announces. A few students giggle at his squeaky voice. He peers around the room, trying to see who laughed. The room quiets, but you relax a little. This guy doesn't scare you like some of the other people around here. The video starts with patriotic music. Familiar faces from the American Revolution fill the screen, but the video is all about stuff you've known since second grade. You decide to check out the room with your monocle instead of watching. You sneak the monocle from your pocket and glance through it. There's no hidden messages in the room that you can see. But wait, the video. As you watch, your jaw starts to drop. Through the monocle, the video shows students at Rainwash boarding school as they grow up, graduate, and get jobs in the outside world. The scary thing is they all have the brainwash look, like the zombie in homeroom. And even scarier, these aren't just ordinary people. They're politicians, actors, heads of huge businesses. Oh no, you think. Rainwash graduates run everything. And they're all zombies. The hidden layer of the video ends with a message for all Rainwash graduates. We never forget our school. The teacher flicks the light back on and stands. You quickly shove the monocle back into your pocket. You don't know what's going on here, but you know you don't like it. Now we'll make sure you were all paying attention. Time for an oral quiz. I hope you were watching carefully, because anyone failing the test gets 15 demerits. Oh no! You were watching carefully, all right, but you were watching the wrong thing. You remember what Miss Sims said in homeroom. 25 demerits, and you go to the detention wing. The teacher walks around the room, asking each student one question about the American Revolution. Everyone answers correctly. Finally, he gets around to you. So, what should I ask you, he ponders. Maybe a question about taxation. He rubs his bald head in thought. Name the most important item that was taxed by the British in the Stamp Act of 1765. You rack your brain. All you can remember is no taxation without representation. But what were they taxing? How about wigs? All those guys wore powdered wigs during the Revolution. Or maybe it was tea? Everyone liked tea. Then again, maybe the stamp tax was a tax on stamps. That seems logical. But you're not sure. So there's 3 options for this one. If you think the answer is wigs, tea, or stamps. There we go. I will take that drink. Guys, are you okay? Can we get one from More Vote YouTube side? We're back to 50-50. Oh, there we go. Somebody voted differently. Okay, here we go. Actually, nope, we're still 50-50. Somebody changed their mind, but not to one of the 2 things that was 50-50ing. Are we okay, though, chat? Do we, not know the history of the Boston Revolution here? Oh, dear. Now it's totally 50-50'd. You recall this was stamps? I mean, they kind of dumped everything into the harbor. I guess it could have been stamps. You're back after writing a dub? Okay. You hit wigs by accident, but you meant to hit T. Okay. That actually puts T over, so long as you're telling me the truth here. You want me to pick stamps, but guys, they dumped the tea into the harbor. It's called the Boston Tea Party. Are we okay? I mean, am I dumb? Am I dumb here? Well, what year was this? Well, maybe it was later. Well, you guys voted for tea. It is late. It's okay. I could be wrong. I could be the dumb one here. I could be having the wrong year. I don't know. But we voted for tea, so 115 here. Pick one, you tell yourself. Tea, you stammer. The teacher raises one eyebrow. Are you sure? He asks. You gulp, but there's no turning back now. You nod. Correct, the teacher announces. You think. That was pure luck. Your shoulders slump with relief. You made it through that one, but maybe next time you should pay more attention. You don't want to wind up in the detention wing, and you especially don't want to wind up like that zombie kid. Soon the bell rings and you ready yourself for the next class. But we've already been through all the classes. You're correct, the Boston Tea Party was in 1773. However, it was not a short thing. It was, they started with the stamp tax, well before they finally got fed up. We can go back and do the stamp one, though. Do we recall what page that was that I was on? I don't really remember. But I can go to page 60 and look. We can go down the stamp path, since that was so short and since we don't have another place to go. 111. $17.55. Okay, stamps. Turn to page 20. It's a stamp tax. The answer must be stamps, you proclaim. The teacher scowls. Uh-oh, you're wrong. The teacher shakes his head. 15 demerits. And remember what happens if you get 25. The detention wing. He takes your class schedule and writes 15 demerits on it with a big red pen. You remember the example kid you were shown in homeroom. You don't want to go to the detention wing. Then the bell rings and class is over. The question is, did you already have some demerits from other classes? Total your demerits. If they add up to 25 or more, go to the detention wing. Otherwise, go to your next class. But we don't have anything better to do, so let's go to the detention wing. 'Cause funny. That's fair, Habari. Detention wing. Oh, wait a minute, we've already done this. Oh, well. I guess that's all, then. Because going to the detention wing is just gonna bring us here, which we've already done. With that, I think we've gotten through a good few endings. We didn't get the best one. We didn't get the worst one. But we went for quite some time, a good 2 hours. I hope everybody enjoyed this. I'm gonna be, looking forward to seeing the numbers on how this does and, what you guys were thinking. What is the best ending? I mean, I could go look. There was one that said the happiest end. I think it was further up than this. Click, 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 click. Do, 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 do. Ah, there it is. Actually, a very bad ending. I think it was the other one for the ending we got that was pretty decent. Give me 1 second, chat. Cryo, a little help, please, baby. Okay, the last ending, it looks like it's the one where we get in the chair, but we don't have any metal on us. It says, finally, the chair's humming sputters to a stop. Your straps are released. Go ahead, Dr. Rainwash orders. Take off the helmet. You quickly obey. After all, obeying is good. You peer around the room happily. So many people to give you orders. Yay! Kate looks upset, and she doesn't obey when they order her to sit in the chair. But you help them strap her in. She'll be happy once the chair fixes her. Now go back to class, Rainwash tells you, and remember to work very, very hard. You smile at this order. Work is lots of fun. And you don't need to worry. You'll have lots of work to do for the rest of your life, which makes this the happiest end of them all. Maybe we got the best ending. How fun. I know there was one that said bad end, but either way, regardless, I think we did this book some justice. And I think that this was definitely fun. Maybe next time I'll pick a book where it's just a little more linear. Or, something. Hey, thanks for following on Twitch, Nadog. You've been here all night. Now you're just following? I'm just teasing you a little bit. Anyhow, this was definitely an experience. Where did I find this book? So I'm actually, let me come in here with it. You forgot. That's okay. This is just the Internet Archive. They have a lot of the Goosebumps books, actually. I remember looking at the listings. It was literally just a bunch of them in here. Let me see. Ding, ding, ding. Oh, Jesus Christ, Scoops. Just straight up books by R.L. Stine, or that, have R.L. Stine. There's, a whole bunch of them. Lots of Goosebumps, lots of retrospectives, lots of just interesting Internet Archive stuff. Thought it might have, yeah, it was indeed. So I think that, it's definitely an accessible thing to do another time. I hope that you all enjoyed doing this. It does make me think that we need to have another Nancy Drew game soon, though. It just gave me the vibe, Tomorrow night, we'll be doing Golf Gang. I'm pretty excited to be doing that. Oh, excuse me. I hope that you guys are as well. Sunday night, of course, your turn to play as usual. And I think that that's about all I've got for you guys tonight. I hope you all had fun. Let's look for a raid to go on, shall we? We've got, what, 7 viewers on YouTube and 6 on Twitch. Thanks, guys. I really do appreciate all of you being here. Let's see. You know what? Every time we raid these people, they're ending. Let me see if they're ending now or if they're still going. Because we're ending so early. No, it's turned 10 out of 10. I have a feeling that they're ending. Oh, you know what? They're doing turn. No. And yeah, they're on turn 10 now. We'll go. They're just starting turn 10. I am gonna skip the Twitch raid just because I want to go raid them. We never get to raid them. And like actually have it mean something. Twitch people, if you do want to follow us, here's where we're going. Here's the raid tag. Hello, Ethan. Yeah, we're literally done now. I'm so sorry. We're going on that raid. I hope that we all enjoyed this. But until next time, bye.